Awesome. Okay, welcome, lovelies. Thank you so much for stepping into this program. I know you're going to have an amazing time. So this meeting today is to sort of get the ball rolling. I'm going to introduce lovely Catherine, but first of all, we're going to go through the sort of ins and outs. And I think everyone here knows about Zoom and all of that sort of thing. So just in case you don't, and you want to ask any questions, there's the chat box at the bottom. And so if you just sort of ask a question as we go through, we will keep an eye on the chat box to make sure that we're getting any sort of questions answered. So as we go through, we're just going to go with the flow. Okay, so just so you know a little bit about me, I think a lot of you know me anyway, but I just thought I'd really go into why detoxing. So just in case you don't know, I used to specialize in detoxification in the 90s. We used to run a clinic where we had incurable diseases being worked with and people who had AIDS and cancer and all sorts of things. And we used to work with them to really, really help them lift their energy so they could actually cure themselves. And so that's where I'm taking my expertise from there, and also prior to there, because I personally went through a lot of detoxification and things because I had chronic fatigue and all sorts of other things going on. But I really want you to know that I really love doing this work. I love being able to share the information I've acquired over 30 plus years of working with thousands and thousands of people to help improve their health. And then I also love to share making of products and things like that, but we'll do that some other time, maybe not. But today I wanted to just go through the products that we're getting you to take and why. So first up, on Saturday, you might have seen me with the spray. Now, you might have seen me tapping. And the reason you tap is when you have homeopathic remedies and you tap them, it actually activates them and makes them come alive. So when you do this, you tap it, take 3 sprays, and don't have anything to eat or drink for at least 20 minutes afterwards. Because the reason is because we're wanting to absorb the spray through the mucous membranes. If you have something to drink, say, after you've taken your spray, it actually dilutes it. It won't stop it working, but it won't be nearly as powerful as when you take it and just allow it to absorb and utilize. Now, why the spray? Right, the spray is your activator. It activates your hypothalamus, it activates your pituitary and pineal. And why do you need those activated? Because the reason our bodies don't function at optimum levels is because our hypothalamus has almost gone to sleep, or it's been activated so much that it can't cope with your modern world. So the homeopathic spray has in it homeopathic frequencies to help the hypothalamus click into gear. And when we have weight to lose, or if you might not have weight to lose, but you might have imbalances in your hormonal system, you might have high blood pressure, you might have fatty liver, you might have so many things that this can really help your body spring into action. And so those things become less and less important. And also it helps you to lose the fat. I will go into this in a bit more detail in another one of our calls, but this is probably one of the most important, but it's not the only important thing. So that's the spray. And no, you don't, Charmaine, you don't have to have a gap, although in traditional homeopathics, they say you shouldn't have anything to eat or drink for 20 minutes before and 20 minutes after. And that is what I used to say. But having learned that basically very often I used to forget to take my sprays before my food, because that's what I used to recommend. And then I only remembered it just after eating. So I used to take it and it still worked. And I know many people do the same. And so also a little tip for you is, if you find that you get so busy with life that you forget to start forgetting to take them, just put an alarm on your phone. That's what I do, because I also have them in a strategic place where I'm more likely to remember them. So that's your spray. Then we have Boost. Now, Boost is what you put in your water. It's a homeopathic too, so you tap it. And so the strategy I've developed over the years is to have a jug of water. Catherine, could you? Catherine's my assistant. Is I have a jug of water, and that's 2 liters. And
it's so helpful.
I fill it, and I put Boost drops in there. And then I've got Boost, and I've also got my water. Now, if you don't have a jug, or if you're out and about, what I would recommend you do is get a water container and say bottle of water, and make sure you have your 3 liters of water there. And so you remember to take it. It's a really important component of the program, having enough liquid, because we need the toxins to be flushed through, and we need to be hydrated. We need our cells to be hydrated. Now, this is Catherine's drink. This is lemon and water. Now, mine is in a big cup, and that's 750 mils. So I know exactly how much water I'm drinking. So
can we show them what we've done? Because it's just chopped up lemon.
So this chopped, I don't think they can probably see. We're going to spill it over the computer. Yeah. That's it. So chopped up lemon,
half a lemon,
and hot water. And especially when it's cold.
So refreshing.
Yeah, and it's a nice warm drink, and it's refreshing, and it just invigorates the soul. So yeah, so
and stops the hunger too.
Yeah,
isn't it? Yeah,
absolutely.
Like
it does. Yeah, it stops you feeling like you need to eat. And okay, so the Boost. Why Boost? Boost is in a base of ionic minerals, and that basically means the minerals are easy to absorb. And also it makes the water easier to absorb too. So if you have minerals in your water, you're more likely to absorb it. If you can have filtered water, have filtered water. I'm very lucky. I've got a Kangen machine. If you have access to a Kangen machine, perfectly perfect. So Boost also has drainage remedies, and drainage remedies are basically supporting your detoxification pathways. So we've got support of our liver, our kidneys, our lymph, and also other parts of the body, but sort of skin and lungs as well, but not nearly so much as those 3. So they're the most important ones as far as Boost is concerned. And so also it's a really good, if you find, especially in the first week, that your blood sugars are a little bit wobbly, so you might feel as if a little bit dizzy or a little bit out of kilter, take extra Boost. 10 drops of Boost in a small shot glass of water will normally knock that on the head in an instant. It really is an amazing tool if you're feeling just a little bit out of it. You know, if you sort of do a little bit too much walking or something and you find that you get a bit woozy, Boost in your water, and in a shot glass is a good way of doing it, getting it really quick. Okay, so that's Boost. Now, herbs. Now, these are, I like herbs. I like herbs a lot, and I know that they really, really help. So we've got a combination of herbs that I've been using for many, many years to help your body, again, eliminate. So the Boost helps the body remove toxins that can be floating around in the bloodstream, and herbs can help you release those toxins from the organs. So they're working in combination together. So some of the herbs are things like berberine, cleavers, milk thistle, lobelia inflata, and Oregon grapefruit. It probably won't make any sense to you, but just so that you know that berberine and Oregon grapefruit have a very similar chemical component to metformin. And metformin, if you don't know, is a drug they use for type 2 diabetes to help with getting your insulin levels, insulin resistance lessened. And there is some information written in the booklet, which I hope you've all got, that can really explain why insulin resistance is so important to combat. We really need to combat that. And that's what part of the program is helping your insulin levels become healthy. So that's what the herbs are about. Now, one of my favorite herbs in here is one called Lobelia inflata. And Lobelia inflata helps clear mucus from the lungs, but it's also a nervine. So it's really good for your central nervous system. And when you bear in mind that this program is all about reducing stress levels in your body so that your body can flow and basically heal itself, that's why I added it into this, because I think all of us have been through a slightly stressful time over the last 2.5, 3 years. So, or probably longer. So that's what this is all about. And I would recommend taking it with your boost. If you don't want to add boost to your water bottles, some people don't like the taste. It's a good idea to add them both together and scull them. So although they're not the worst herbs I've ever created, they really aren't the worst.
They really aren't.
They're really not. But it can, some people just don't like the taste. So shot glass, long glass, whatever you want to choose, just make sure you take them. Okay.
Has anyone got any questions about those?
Any questions about the herbs or anything? Sorry guys, welcome Fiona, welcome Tegan, welcome Danny, welcome Charmaine. Sorry, I didn't say welcome. I got on a roll.
You're just too excited. It's great.
I am. Okay, right. So I was talking about insulin resistance, and the reason why we include the magnesium in the program is because 99% of the population of the planet are low in magnesium. And there's a reason for that. We don't have much magnesium in the soil, but plus our need for magnesium has elevated. So double whammy, really. So the reason it's included in the program is because we need magnesium for nearly every system of our body, but we need it specifically for digestion. If we don't have enough magnesium, we don't make enough digestive enzymes. So you can have the most perfect diet on the planet. You can have organic food. You can have the most amazing supplements and paying an arm and a leg. But if you don't have enough magnesium in your system, you will not make enough digestive enzymes. And so consequently, you will not be able to absorb all that wonderful goodies.
Isn't that interesting?
By putting it on the skin, it bypasses digestion. So you can be taking magnesium supplementation, say, but you probably won't be absorbing it because it's going through digestion.
Has everybody got their magnesium? I think it's all a good time to just
so
everybody have a bit of magnesium.
So a few pumps on your hand.
Have you got it with you, ladies?
Rub it in and enjoy the effects. And so what you do is the other reason is, apart from digestion, is if you don't have enough magnesium, you will not make perfect insulin. So if you don't have enough magnesium, you have imperfect insulin. So therefore, the insulin receptors do not talk to one another. And that's a really important component because your body will keep on making more and more insulin, and then we have insulin resistance. So one of the root cause of metabolic syndrome, diabetes type 2, and weight gain is magnesium deficiency. Put it anywhere on your body, anywhere you have aches and pains. If you get a stiff neck, if you get a achy knees, achy hips, anything, put it anywhere on your body, except for don't put it on your face.
Stings a bit, doesn't it?
It won't do any harm, but if you get it close to your eyes, you will know about it. I promise you.
Or a cut.
Yeah, if you put it near a cut too. I mean, the thing is, it can help heal cuts if you can handle the sting.
Oh, that's true.
But some people don't like the texture of it, and that's all well and good too. So if you don't like the texture on your hands, leave it on your hands for as long as you possibly can cope with it, and then rinse it off. It takes about 10-15 minutes for it to totally absorb, but it won't harm you if you wash it off after 15 minutes. So any questions about magnesium? Oh, the thing is do it as often as you possibly can. As you can see, we've just applied some to our hands. We'd normally apply it to our legs and arms and neck and everything else, but do it as often as you can, and as often as 5 or 6 times a day. So 2 pumps on your hands, rub together and apply. Do it as often as you can. I won't say that. I'll probably be repeating this time after time after time, because it is really, really important. Now, the other things we're recommending in the booklet, I'll go through those very quickly. So, LBS2, also it's now called lower bowel support. Now, these are laxative herbs. They're powerful laxative herbs, and
very, very powerful.
You may or may not need them. But as we
be careful when you take them and how you take them.
Yeah, take them at night,
because they can work very effectively.
Yeah. So, but if you, especially in the fasting stage, when you're in the fasting stage, you need to make sure your bowels are working well. Now, you will also notice that I also recommend the Bowel Build. Now, Bowel Build is a fiber formula. By using these two, sorry, I haven't got any Bowel Build to show you because we've run out and we're waiting for a delivery. Bowel Build helps to, it acts like a broom through your colon, and so it draws out any remnants of stuff. Bowel Build, Charmaine, you just asked if you can't find Bowel Build. Try Health Post. They have it. Also, I think they had it in Chemist Warehouse, didn't they? I think when we were looking last time.
Yeah, anyway, that sells Nature's Sunshine.
Yeah. No, not in Chemist Warehouse. Tegan's shaking her head. Okay, so I will source it and I'll put it in the group. So anything you need and you can't find, I will find a way of you being able to get them. So Nature's Sunshine is normally quite easy to get hold of. Now, I do know that when I first ordered the Bowel Build for the trial group, they were out, my supplies were out of stock, so it might just be that the supply chain has broken down a little bit. But if you can't get Bowel Build, this brings us nicely onto activated charcoal. So activated charcoal can work just like Bowel Build, well, not as well, but it can be as a good secondary one. And also charcoal, I'm going to in the next few weeks, but I'm not going to do it today. It's basically how to use charcoal as damage limitation if you have an event that you can't miss out on, or if you're, because in the 12 weeks we're together, I doubt very much whether you have 12 weeks without an event to go to or without something that you don't want to miss out on. And so we're going to go
that
through
involves
something that's precisely
like champagne or
or some yummy food or something. Yeah. Okay.
And so if they do, then that's when you have the activated charcoal.
So yes, but I'm going to go through that protocol after a few weeks, because I'm recommending that you can hang on for as long as you can. So, but charcoal you can use So say, for example, you take your LBS2 overnight time, take 2 overnight, and then after that, say in the morning, take 2 charcoal. Just make sure when you take charcoal, you don't take it too close to your food. And when I mean too close is don't take half an hour to an hour before or after your food, because charcoal will absorb most of what you take nutrition wise into itself and take it out of your body. So we want the body to have the nutrition. So that's what charcoal's for. So that's why that's on the list.
So can you answer then if someone's bowel isn't working properly, then is there anything else, or will bowel build and LBS2 just be right, or is that an indication that something's not right in the body?
That's a good question, because I mean, I used to, when we were working with clients in London, we used to get people to take those all the time. However, I've learned a lot since then. And what I found for me is by adding more fat into my diet, keeps my bowels really regular, not fiber, but fat. So if you didn't want to go out and get LBS2, you could try adding another teaspoon of fat. Now, I'm not recommending things like sunflower oil or anything like that, but animal fat. So it can be butter. I know it's not on the list, but it can be. So, or it can be beef fat, for example. And I'm going to do a Zoom thing about the tallow and the beef fat and why we mustn't be afraid of fat. But for the first few days, I just want you to follow the program as it's written. And then we're going to sort of include other things as we go along. And so that's the products. Oh, niacin. Yeah, Karen.
Ladies, just if you can hear snoring in the background, that's Karen's Frenchies.
Yeah.
So there's not another human on the couch.
Yeah, and it's also not me being too nasally.
Exactly.
Now, where did the niacin go?
Right there.
Right there. Okay. Now, you might see you probably would have seen, is in the detox protocols we've given as examples of things to do, I recommend niacin. Now, the reason for niacin, and this one is not the no flush niacin. You don't want to get the no flush niacin. One of my clients, when I recommended her to take niacin, she went to the health shop to go and get it. And the lady in the shop said, "Oh, you don't want to get the no flush one. It makes you flush for 24 hours afterwards." And it's so not true. So she went and got the no flush niacin, which actually defeats the object. So the reason niacin is on the list for you recommended to do, and with saunas, is it enhances the circulation. So anything that enhances circulation enhances the detoxification pathways. So even if you're not lucky enough to have a sauna at hand, the niacin is still a good thing. So you can do it before you go and exercise, for example. And if you do it before you go and exercise, you feel this lovely flush coming, and then you go, right, I'm going to go and exercise now, because it enhances your workout capability. Now, the other reason I was told about niacin was a long, long time ago, was it actually helps being anti-aging for the face, because it brings the circulation to the face. I haven't experienced that personally, but you know, it might take a long time to do that. But it's a really, really good supplement. It's a very low cost supplement, and the one we found is Solgar, and it's 100 milligrams. Now, the flush for me lasts maximum of an hour. What would you say, Catherine?
About that, something between 20 minutes and an hour, depending on if I'm then having a sauna or then exercising, or just taking it to get the niacin hit, if you like. But don't plan to go out anywhere, because you literally will look like you've had a workout, even if you haven't had a workout. It's actually quite weird.
I did it without thinking one day, and I was doing a Zoom call, And I looked like I was blushing like a beetroot, like I was really embarrassed about something. So just do it in the privacy of your own home. That's probably the best way of doing it. Right. So I think, diatomaceous earth. Yeah, I didn't get a sample of diatomaceous earth.
I can get something.
Okay. Diatomaceous earth is an amazing product, and it's very easy to get hold of. It's very reasonably priced, and basically take a teaspoon a day. I give it to my dogs because it's worming, so it's anti-parasite. So it's just a powder. Yeah. So it's basically a powder, and it's tasteless, odorless, and yes, it's anti-parasite, but it's also very high in silica, which is a good mineral for helping connective tissue and everything else. And so it's a double whammy. So it'll help you cleanse any parasites you may be carrying. Also, it helps with many other things. It can help with, your bowels. So if you did that with charcoal, if you couldn't get hold of bowel build, then that's a good combo. And any charcoal will do, by the way. I didn't say that before. Charcoal is charcoal is charcoal. There's only 2 places on dear Mother Earth that they produce activated charcoal. So there's no difference in quality. There's a lot of difference in prices, but there's no difference in quality. So just get the cheapest one. It really doesn't matter.
So for example, in the morning, in your glass of water, could you put the herbal and the diatomaceous earth
Absolutely,
together?
yes.
And take activated charcoal?
I would take the activated charcoal a bit away, because otherwise you won't be absorbing all the nutrients.
Perfect.
But if you have them in a day, they're going to do the same benefit.
Perfect. Yeah. Because it's about finding routines, isn't it, ladies, with taking all these things?
Yes. Yeah, it is. And just I will cover the question I probably get asked the most is, can I have coffee in the morning? That is the most concern people have of when they're doing this program is, yes, you can have 1 to 2 cups of coffee. And the reason for that is coffee has got some benefits. And again, I will go over the benefits of that a bit later, because otherwise our first Zoom call will be hours, and we don't need that, because I'm sure you'll get bored to tears with me, because I can rabbit, I can talk the hind legs of the donkey about this stuff. I can go all day. Right. So I think that's it. So the other thing I'm just going to say to you is the first few days is the hardest, because we've just done 2 days of eating and drinking and be merrying, and some more than others. But just know that the first few days are the most challenging. If you find you're really, really hungry, as I said, take extra boost. If you're finding things a bit wobbly, take extra spray or boost. The spray will last you at least 50 days, if not longer. But you can take extra of that. It really can help. So I think that's probably all I need to cover, because I'm going to get Catherine to take you through things. So, just remember, stick to the foods on the list, stick to the program. In this early stage, it's really, really important. And so we know that this is going to be an amazing transformation time. And I just want you to really acknowledge and congratulate yourself, because you're taking the time out of your busy lives to make a difference in your own being. And I'm so excited that I'm doing it again, because I know that last time we did it, there was huge transformations. And I know this time I do it, it's going to be huge transformations for me as well as everyone else. And so it's so exciting to see everyone shift and evolve and change. And I'm so looking forward to this. This is amazing.
I almost feel like it should be called the Miracle Detox.
Yeah.
Because having done it with on the first pilot, gosh, when did we start it? June,
beginning of June.
And we did it for 6 weeks with phase 1, and it was literally life-changing. So I'm Catherine Newton, for those of you who don't know me, and Karen and I have known each other for, we think, about 7 or 8 years. And Karen first came along to one of my events. So I'm a coach, a speaker, an author, an activator, and when Karen and I connected earlier this year, it was about inviting Karen to step into her genius. And I've always been someone who loves to do that. So my work is basically around helping women create breakthroughs in their life and their business.
I was going to say that.
It's my genius. It's what I absolutely love to do. And Karen, of course, we know her genius is helping us to be in the best health we possibly can, so that we can, have the breakthroughs for the life and the business that we love, or the career, or the income, or whatever it is that's of your highest calling. So the ultimate detox is something that, when I embarked upon it, I was in a toxic work environment. I had just come out of a toxic work environment where I had been supporting another, you might call, star or influencer, and I had a lot of stress in my body. I could feel the inflammation. And so when I embarked upon it, I had a very clear path that I just wanted to get well again, and I wanted to reduce inflammation and reduce weight. And I lost 10 kilos in the first 6 weeks. And was I absolutely religiously pedantic about taking everything and doing everything? I would say about 95%. And it was because I made a deep commitment to this program and to really showing up and doing this for myself, doing this for my body. And when Karen says follow the program, follow the plan, then absolutely. And look, one of the things I found is that by showing up in the group, in the Facebook group every day, and actually writing out what was happening for me, what I was thinking, what I was doing, the steps I was taking, the habits I was forming, that became a really strong anchor for me. So I think during this program, it's about finding what is your anchor that is going to keep you focused. It's going to keep you on track. It's going to keep you motivated. Is it showing up in the group every day and telling us what's happening for you? Is it finding a buddy in the group and saying, let's message each other every day to check that we've taken our sprays, or we've gone for our walk, or we've taken some of the detox protocols that we need to take? What is the way forward for you? And you will know, and you'll step into that. But I think that there is so much power actually in the Facebook group and the coming together of each other and the sharing of ideas. And what we've learned along the way too is that no question is too silly. And the Facebook group has got quite a few members in there who've done the program before and lost, somewhere between, what would you say, between 8 and 12 kilos?
Probably.
Yeah.
Those who needed to lose weight. Anyway. Yeah.
That's right. It's true. We had some people in the group that didn't need to lose weight, but they just wanted to get healthier within themselves. And so Karen worked with them in the group. So if you're one of those people that doesn't actually need to lose weight, you just want to work on your health, then let us know in the group and get the right information.
Remembering that we've also got other experts who are brilliant at what they do. We've got Amy, who's our naturopath. We've got Christina, who's our yoga guru, and we've got Rachel, who has huge amounts of knowledge and everything about. She does yoga as well, but she does lots of other self-love things. And so utilize the experts in the group. It's the more we ask questions, the more we utilize, the more you will get out of this program.
Absolutely.
And if you got the newsletter from this morning, it's just imagine if you'd had spent, say, $10,000 on this program, how much attention you would give it. So just imagine you've spent that amount of money, how differently you might look at it. I mean, 750 isn't cheap, but the thing is that if you'd have spent a higher amount of money, what respect you would give it, and make sure that you really, really do respect yourself and respect everything that you're doing for yourself. I think it's amazing. Charmaine, in answer to your question, can you take your spray and both lots of drops all together? I would recommend not. You can take your both drops together, but I would recommend taking the spray just 20 minutes away. So you can take, do your spray first and then maybe the drops, or vice, or the other way around. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to, Catherine's just trying to keep the dogs occupied, and then she's going to take you through. So just, Catherine's also been my accountability partner. She's been staying with me, and so consequently we've been having a great deal of fun learning about ourselves and each other. So she'll be here in a minute. So today Catherine's going to be sharing her genius. She's going to go through a future self exercise, aren't you, Catherine?
Well, yeah, and look, I'm very aware that some of you are at work. Can you just raise your hand if you're at work? Yeah. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is that we'll make today more about the information. And then what I'm going to do is I will, later today, I will post a future self meditation that you can do on a daily basis, or whenever you need to step back into your zone of commitment to this course and to this program, and have you meet your future self. And I think that it would just be a lot more impactful if we've got at least 3 people at work. So the promise is I'll pop it into the group later today. And it will be an opportunity for you to do it as your morning meditation or just as a check-in. But I think one of the things I would love for us to do now is to invite you to just write in the chat. If you can't talk, then please just write in the chat and just state, what is your highest intention for yourself for this program, for these 12 weeks? What is your highest intention? So you might have seen in the Facebook group that I wrote my intentions, and so I invite you to do the same. What is your, in the 12 weeks, what is your highest intention for yourself, for your well-being, for your just for who you are? Soul connection. It's beautiful, Charmaine. So by that, Charmaine, do you mean that you want to get more in touch with your soul? You want to find your soul's purpose, or you want to be actively listening to what your soul's telling you as you go through this program? Yeah, because that's a really powerful one. In fact, everything about it, that's lovely. And I shared with Karen this morning when we went for our walk that my intention, that I didn't actually write on that on the Facebook page, but I was really sitting with it this morning. And for me, my highest intention during these 12 weeks is to really listen to my heart, like get to know my heart. What is my heart feeling? What is my heart wanting? What is my heart calling? And if I get distracted by a food, or if I think I want something, or I've got a craving coming on after I've taken my boost, and I'm going to sit for a moment, even if all I'm doing is taking some deep breaths. So, for example, I invite you to do this with me now. Put your hand on your heart. I'll do that together. And just, we're going to take a deep breath, and then we're going to pause at the top. And we're going to do that 3 times. Breathe with me. Breathe in. Pause. Pause. Release. Again. Breathe in. Pause. Breathe out. Again, breathe in. Pause. And breathe out. Then ask yourself, what does my heart really want? Oh, my heart wants more of that. Did you notice that at the top of the breath there's nothing? That is the space in between. That's where you find peace. That's where you find your soul's calling. That's where you find what your heart is trying to tell you. And if you did that before you gave into the craving, you will be far further along on the journey to diving into that soul connection, Charmaine. Yeah, yummy, right? Danny, are you in a position to be able to type and to let us know what your greatest intention is for the program?
And Fiona,
if you can, then let us know. And Fiona too.
Fiona might be driving.
Yeah. What about you? What's your 12-week?
My 12-week intention is to. I've got a goal, but I'm not going to share that. I'll share it later. But basically, I want to just keep on improving. And I think, as a human being, we're in a constant state of improvement. And so if I can keep on improving the way my mind works, the way my body works, my energy fields. And that in turn, I believe, by doing that, activates the law of attraction. So the more we are in a positive way of being, the more positivity we attract to us. And I know that's part of your teaching. And so that's, I also want to, this is personally on a business front, is I really want to help my business grow further and to step into that because I know I've been hiding. So I'm no longer going to hide. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Yeah, and the other thing that I'm going to be contributing in the group, because I believe in the power of it, is that we're going to be having a journaling session once a week, where and what we're going to do is I'll put a poll in the group to find out what time is going to suit best. Personally, first thing in the morning is always powerful to commit to a practice. However, if we see that collectively in the group, it's going to be better to have it in the afternoon or in the evening, then we can work around that. But writing from here, from your finding that soul connection or from your heart, will shift you along into a really powerful way, because part of what we want to do is we understand and we know the importance of shifting your mindset. There's a book called Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, and in this book he reports about how he talked to a group of women who were going in for plastic surgery, and they went into plastic surgery going, I want to feel better, I want to look better, I want to get rid of my wrinkles, I want to feel myself again, all of these kinds of things. I want to feel happy. And 3 months after their plastic surgery, their face was changed, but they felt their old self still. They hadn't stepped into and owned themselves. And so we learned a lot from that. The mindset is a powerful vehicle. So we want to invite you to be stepping fully into your mind and realizing that in every moment you have choices. You have choices into how you're thinking, what you're thinking about, and how you're feeling. And to allow yourself to really, really harness that that you have choices. Did you know that you have somewhere around 80,000 thoughts a day? And unfortunately, of those 80,000 thoughts, often a large percentage of those are not serving you in your path to health and happiness. And what I know to be true is that there's a technique that I use often, and that is to ask my brain, my mind, my body a question. Whenever I find myself going into that downward spiral, the good old place where it doesn't serve you, where you want to go for the cravings, you're like, oh, I can't do this, it's too hard. to ask yourself, so what do I want? What do I want? I want to feel healthy, and I want a soul connection, Charmaine. I want to feel better mentally and physically, Danny. I want to lose weight and stop relying on food as a crutch, Fiona. That's so perfect. And I want to stop shoving food into my mouth for no reason. And I want to feel proud of myself. I want to have that sense of accomplishment. And then to shift the energy by moving your body in some way. Any of you who have participated in anything Tony Robbins, you know that he'll get you to do the power stand, or he'll get you to like put your arms up in the air and move your body. You're replacing your habits with something new and something different. And so the first thing to do is to be kind to yourself on this journey. You are going to have moments where it's going to be challenging, and that's okay, as long as you remember to take a breath, to put your hand on your heart, ask yourself what you really want, and do something different. Move your body, have a bath, drink some Boost, call a friend, get on Facebook and tell us that you're struggling. If you are, use the tools that are here, read the booklet again, go and do the future focus exercise that I'm going to be putting in the Facebook group for you later. Re-look at your goals, get out your diary and write. And I know all of these things are, you're just giving us more things to do. But what these are is these are steps for you to do so that you can be.
Nice. Write that one. That's really cool. So you may be wondering, because you've heard us talk about the 6 weeks program, you may be wondering why we've made this program 12 weeks. Now, I personally believe that this is not just a limited time detox. And the reason we've made this program 12 weeks is because we're going to be focused. Yes, the first 6 weeks is going to be a focused detox program and protocol. That's why you've only got a book that takes you through the first 6 weeks, because we've got another one that's going to be sent to you via the group and also via the email close to the time. And because the next 6 weeks is all about, it's actually maintenance. It's actually lifestyle.
And it's so important.
It's so important.
So important, because those of us who were on the first group, then when we weren't following the maintenance properly, it's like some weight crept back on, and it didn't serve us.
And then you go back into old habits and everything. And this is where we wanted to really support you with this, because we know that there's going to be things that you can't not experience. What we want you to sort of develop strategies for yourself to keep you on the straight and narrow is a bit extreme, because it's not really about that. It's to keep you in healthy habitual states, so that when you do occasionally step off, you don't have that guilt, and you have strategies to help you through it. And that's what it's all about. And so it's, the 6 weeks is the strict bit. And then the next bit is basically learning more about you, learning more about the foods that are ideal for you, the food programs that are right for you, because everyone's uniquely different. So that, I thought you might just wonder why. We've been talking about 6 weeks, and then we're going to a 12-week program.
Totally, yeah. So I guess this is now a chance to check in and see, do you have any questions? Any questions around, what you're eating today? Perhaps Karen, you can talk about what you're going to be eating today. Day one. Okay. Today at lunch, I haven't really decided what I'm going to have, but probably be eggs or maybe tuna or something like that. And then, would you have both together or just one? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. It's but it'll probably be eggs, I think, today. I think I fancy eggs. So what I've realized is you have to have a variety of foods available, especially at lunchtime, or
if you're at work and you have to take work food with you, just make sure you take enough for you to satisfy that. And then of a night time, I make sure that, so like tonight we've got roast chicken. And so,
Yummy.
you know, it's just being organized and making sure that your food is,
you're absolutely right. The food preparation is everything. And if you get stuck, then always make sure you've got a tin of tuna nearby. And also, you know, pre-boiled eggs in the fridge. I find that's also really helpful. And broth. Broth will be your godsend.
Yeah, it really is.
And yes, of course, Charmaine, you can have bone broth throughout your day, but obviously once you've come out of intermittent fasting. So we will have some broth for lunch. I will.
Yes, I'll have some broth for lunch too. But I might only have broth though. So that's the thing, is like when you get into the swing of the broths, sometimes you might only have one meal. And you have a broth at lunchtime, say, or mid-afternoon. I mean, if you're anything like me, I forget to eat. And so I just have a broth when Catherine does it.
Yeah. So I'm actually staying with Karen for a lot of this period of time, and it's just kind of the way that the universe has worked. Back in Auckland, where I normally reside, we've had the house on the market, and it's just kind of been easier for me to be up here. And so now it's kind of flowed that we're supporting each other on this journey, me helping her with her business and motivation and activation, but also there's something quite powerful about doing it together. So you know, if you have an opportunity to and you would like to find a buddy in the group, then that would be amazing. And just really feeling into what support do you need. Karen, of course, is amazing with her time and very, very generous with the questions that she'll answer and how she'll go above and beyond. But I think we really want to emphasize the fact to use the group if you have any questions, rather than sending them to Karen separately, because obviously there's a number of people in the group, and many of your questions are the same. So pop your question in the Facebook group, and then any of the team and the other people who've done the program before can answer it for you. And then if you have any need for further session, like if you know that you need an hour with Karen, then of course they can go onto the website and book an hour with you. Is that correct?
They will be able to soon.
Okay, yeah. So they can message you for that, to say that they want to book an hour session, and then that would be a paid session that you can have. Yes, certainly if you have any health issues, then do go onto the Facebook group. And
absolutely,
like for example, I don't have a gallbladder, so there are certain things that I need to be doing differently. So if there's anyone else in the group that doesn't have a gallbladder or has some health issue, then go in the group and we'll add the details about that.
Yeah, because we're all unique. And so everything works differently for everyone else. So I think that is probably...
Thanks, ladies. Thanks, Karen. Thank you for bringing this program to us. I'll give her a big hug on behalf of all of you lovelies.
It's my pleasure. I'm so excited to
We're very lucky
to see how we all go. And we're in this together. And as Catherine said, there is no such thing as a silly question, you know, because you'll probably be asking the question that everyone else is wanting to ask and just doesn't feel that they want to. So do it for the team.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, my lovelies. Au revoir. And we will see thee again soon. And have a magical day. And look forward to seeing you next time. Okay. Bye.